Hello, beautiful souls. So, uncertainty, security, and safety. Humans have been seeking this forever. And yet animals find security and safety. And what was the other thing? Security, safety, certainty. Well, they find that in their environment. And so what we do is, as humans, well, first of all, just take a moment, put your hands on your heart, take a nice deep breath. And I'm going to invite you to write comments and have a conversation with me. And then I'm going to figure out how to do a question and answer, because sometimes people go, oh, I didn't know that you knew about that. So let's do a little conversation. And today we can do it this way. So I have some radical ideas. My radical ideas are that there is never been any security. Never. Never. There has never been any safety. Ever. And that there has never been any certainty. Long, long time ago, there were folks who worshiped the sun. Every morning they were there bringing the sun up, waking the sun up, and every night they were there honoring the sun going down. But their certainty wasn't there. And this honoring got them connected to the cycles of life. And the only cycle that we can rely on, that we have relied on for hundreds of thousands of years on this planet, is its motion and what we now know of how it is in the universe. But what you think, what you think you're certain of, you can't be certain of. If you believe that things are true, they might be true for you, but the person standing next to you that doesn't necessarily have the same viewpoint as you, because they're standing next to you, not in your place. So a different perspective gives you a different point of view. So what is certainty to you? What makes you feel secure? Is it having the same place to come home to? Some people, that is, and we have generally made that as a point of reference of security and stability, is having somewhere to return to. Hey, Celie. So I'm talking tonight about encouraging curiosity and willingness, and not getting stuck in the idea that you need stability and security and certainty to take action. Because those things, being uncertain, being insecure, and being I've lost the last one, but those things are what motivate you to become curious and to become willing to take that next step, to wonder. I wonder what would happen if I did this. Hi, Skyanne. So the thing is that right now, we're looking back on more than 6 years of post-traumatic stress. And we're wondering, why don't I feel secure? Well, the reason you don't feel secure is because it's like this ray of sun that's coming in here. It's beaming at you all the time. And we are absorbing this. If you're watching this, chances are pretty good that you are an empath. If you're an empath, you are soaking up all that stuff that everyone is carrying around, and sometimes they can't carry it around, so they shake it off. And so what happens is, unless you're walking in your protection, what happens is that you absorb that, and then you think it's yours. And every cell of your body comes to be uncertain, unstable, insecure. And it's not really ours. If each one of us took a moment to just put our feet directly underneath our hips, stand, touch our hearts, and say, what is true for me right now? Well, for some of us, fear is true for us right now. For others, hunger. Not everyone has the same truth. So if we're looking for certainty, we get to be certain of ourselves. We get to be curious and willing to come to know ourselves. That is security. That is certainty. When the world is wobbly, and the world is always wobbly, always, always, always. Socrates wrote about it, Plato, they all were bemoaning the state of affairs. So this conundrum that we're in right now, this divisiveness, is not anything new. We just know more about it more quickly. So let's be certain about a couple of things. Let's be certain about ourselves. Get to know yourself. What don't you like? And it's perfectly okay for you to not like things. Give yourself permission. When you know what you don't want, the pathway to finding what you do want becomes much more clear. So start from that place. I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And then notice that wanting is a lower frequency word than desire. So now that you've got all your wants listed, or you don't wants listed, turn over here and frame them as desires. Be curious about what you desire. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. To think that having a desire is low level, is unspiritual, in my opinion, is ridiculous. How does spirit manifest except through this body? It can't. So when I have a desire and I fulfill that, and I believe that's part of my purpose, it's part of your purpose, the fulfillment of desire. And when you look at the word, you probably might not have ever heard this before, but when you look at the word desire, in French, it's of the Father. And in most religious traditions, the higher perspective, the higher self, is portrayed in a masculine form. So when you think about it like this, wants, don't want, don't want, don't want, don't want. And then there's desires. It elevates the expression. It raises your frequency, even in the conceiving, the conceptualization of these things that you desire. So I call it sit and sip. So sit and sip and take some time quickly to look at, where are you feeling uncertain? Where are you feeling insecure? And when you come to know yourself, what you know, don't want, and then these are my desires, when you come to know this, you become much more clear in your intentions. And all of those things that you think, insecurity, instability, and the ability to be certain, you think that they are, you think maybe that they're negative. But what if they're inspiring? What if they light a fire? What if they ignite some long forgotten dreams about your desires? that maybe you have no longer been curious or willing about. So take a few minutes right now when you see this, and if you're watching the replay, thank you very much for doing that. If you're right here with me, then take a few minutes, pour a cuppa, sit down, and write down all the don't wants. And then once those are out, purge yourself of those. Make space in you for something more. And then turn. And literally and figuratively do this. So write them out over here. And then turn your perspective and look this direction. And now write your desires. Begin to call them into being. And as you do this, what you'll notice is that you become much more stable. You become much more certain, and you become much more secure because you've engaged your curiosity and your willingness. They're beautiful partners. When you feel insecure about something, get curious and then be willing to actually take an action step, like sit and write it out. So use these attributes that you all have to when you're feeling wobbly, when you're feeling like, I can't take anymore, that you begin to go, well, what is it that I don't want that's going on? Write that out. And then, what do I desire? What's the outcome I want to see? And as a matter of fact, I think it's a beautiful process to do when you're doing anything. If you're purchasing a car, a house, thinking about relationships, choosing a job, engage your curiosity and your willingness and wonder, what is the best possible outcome? And then begin to move in that way. You know, there's a saying from a long time ago when I was a psychotherapist, fake it till you make it. And there is a part that is, when you do that, you begin to integrate and feel into. So rather than faking it, I think it is, it's integrating it. Feel into what it would feel like. Right. Desire to travel, whatever it is, whatever desire you have, bring it into fruition. Fulfillment of desires is one of your purposes for life. All right, all you lovelies out there, have a fabulous evening. You can see that the sun is streaming in here. And but I did want to just take a few minutes and talk to you about the surge right now that I'm sensing and feeling, people feeling insecure and unstable and uncertain. And so let's find a way to assuage that. So take a moment, sit and sip. And in case no one has told you so far today, you are amazing. So thank you. Have a fabulous evening. Bye-bye.